travel for pay, or you're just doing it for fun to try and discover yourself and everything? How was that?
I think it was a bit of both. You know, I mean, travel again is a really big part of my life, so I like to do it as much as humanly possible.
You've been everywhere, though.
I really have traveled to a lot of places. I've been very lucky. I will not lie.
Yeah.
And the good thing about being able to travel is the process and how you make enough money to put in the bank to be able to travel.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that piggy bank that you have when you're really little.
I need to learn how to do that.
Oh man, you know, it's so much fun. It's like hustling hard just to get those extra jobs, just to put money in the bank, just to be able to go to some beautiful part of the world that you've never been and you've always wanted to.
I'm sorry to cut you off, and people keep saying this on my podcast, but the only problem is if I don't interrupt, I forget what I want to ask, and then I'll be like, damn. So if you go to Alicia Poppert's like Instagram, you'll see what I'm talking about when it comes to things like travel. I've seen you going to all these, like, anything that I can. You'll see her like riding horses on the desert, skydiving, scuba diving. I mean, what else? I mean, the list is endless. Were you at the burning? What is it called? The burning?
Africa Burn. I was. It's the best experience.
See all these things she's talking about. So if you go to her Instagram, you'll see all these like really interesting things, like you can combine with your lifestyle. They're fun. It can be work. But I'm just guessing with all these experiences, it just leaves your chain of thought open. In a very open and different way. Even when it comes to creativity,
travel is knowledge.
You're seeing
different places. You're inspired by different foods. You're inspired by different people, cultures, communities. You're constantly learning. You're constantly challenging yourself.
Yeah.
Because travel is not easy all the time. And getting into a plane and deciding to jump out of it is not something that comes naturally.
True.
You have to break past that barrier of fear and say, I want to experience this. I want to open my mind to anything. I want to try and experience everything.
Yeah.
And I think it's also a way, like you said, to discover myself and to push my own boundaries, to see what it is, where my mind can go.
Yeah.
You know, the extent of what I can do and what I can believe.
Yeah.
And I mean, will always be a very, very big part of my life.
What would you say is like? What would you say like you've really gained from traveling? What's like the one thing you'd say, like, you know, if you travel, like your mind changes in this and this way, or if you travel, this is what you gain? Like, what can be like the one thing that can like
self-awareness?
Self-awareness?
Yeah, self-awareness.
What do you mean by that? For the people who might like just say like, what does she mean by self-awareness?
You get to understand who you are as a person. What you like, what you don't like, what your limits are, what your fears are, where your restrictions are in terms of like, you know, yourself, how you are socially with people that you don't know, for example. You know, all of these different things. Like, I know that traveling alone for some people is the scariest thing in the world.
Scary.
You know what I mean? And it was for me also the first or second time I did it.
Yeah.
But then you realize how actually kind of strong you are, how resilient you are, how self-aware you are when you travel. And I think also what travel gives you is an open mind.
I remember when we met, we were having like just this long discussion. I was like, if I had like a podcast set up, this would have been nice content and everything. So I remember, what were you talking about? Because one thing that I've noticed about is like Alicia can blend in like everywhere. You know, she's not just like, you know, like just a pretty face that will seclude herself from other people. No, you'd see Alicia blending in with different kinds of people, demography, in music, production, ages and everything. And it's really hard for a lot of people to do. It's hard for people to do that. A lot of people are always like, you know, if
staying in your small little space, your
and even circle,
zone.
like just my friends, if I go somewhere, I'm just talking to this kind of people. You'll meet Alicia like so many different places that you'd even be confused, like,
how is she here? Why is she there?
Why is she here? Are you okay? I'd even see you with some people and I'd be like, are you sure you're good?
Yeah.
They're not holding you against your will. No,
like,
but I'm
nope,
just saying, like, that's just very different. But how are you able to maneuver like that?
Again, this is breaking barriers and fears. It's not that I'm, you know, a social butterfly, yes, but it's not easy. I also get super nervous in social situations.
Really?
With certain yes, absolutely.
You're lying.
I swear, I really do. I really have to push myself to do things sometimes. I really do.
You'll be like,
exactly.
Let me
And
just try
sometimes
this.
I really get kind of nervous around, especially around very, very successful people. I know that sounds weird, but I do, because, you know, I really want to. I want to learn so much, but I also feel like, wow, these guys have made it, and you know, am I really? How did I say this without sounding strange? I don't mind if I sound strange.
Yeah.
Am I worthy of this?
You get like a bit of self-doubt, a bit.
Am I absolutely.
I love being around successful people, and I'll tell you why I don't get nervous, because I think I absorb. I'm a chameleon of absorbing energy.
Right.
And if I hang around like just people who have something going on and all the time and everything, that's why even at times I try and explain to people, like, you know, when you're having like conversations that are not constructive at times, I might just tell people like, listen, the only problem that I have is like, even just the podcast and all the production and everything, like I get to meet so many people who like have so much going on, and they're so positive in what they're doing and everything.
And that's exciting.
It's very exciting.
It inspires you.
It inspires me in so many different ways. So if find myself in a circle where like people have lost hope and everything, I'm always like,
it drains the energy.
It drains me, and I can't even stay around those people.
That's
and at
true.
times it feels like I'm secluding myself from them, but I mean, I can't do it.
Yeah, so I think where I'm going with this is, you know, there are a lot of people that have like especially if you're out in the open, in social platforms, in the airwaves. Yeah. People have different ways in which they think of you, right?
Of course.
I think that's where my problem is that I think a lot of people, especially people I grew up with, first of all, don't understand me as a musician. I don't think. I think, I mean, I'm being so candid here on this podcast. I don't think I've ever actually mentioned this before, but I'm going to. But
exclusive.
But I think that people, because I'm more of a cover artist, they don't actually see me as a proper singer-songwriter musician. And I think that is such an insecurity for me, that I also believe that when people meet me, they're like, yeah, I mean, she does covers, you know, she's or they'll be like, oh, that's the girl who always takes selfies of herself. I'm like, I hardly take selfies, ever. I create completely different content. But even if I do take selfies, what is it to you? What is it to you? And I feel like a lot of people have a lot of judgment. And instead of me just being able to be like, I don't care what people think, it's been a real transition for me to start thinking that way. But in social situations, I'm always thinking, what do these guys think about me? What do they think about my music? What do they think about this?
You know, it's so funny, because when somebody looks at you, they wouldn't see you, like, exude so much confidence, and somebody can't see that.
It's true. I get told that a lot, but I mean, I'm a human after all.
Yeah, we're all human,
we all
so
have
it still
that.
gets to you at some point.
It still gets to me, for sure.
Wow. And you know, I remember even from like just previous conversations, I told you that I don't know whether that made you change a bit, because you're not doing like the whole Instagram thing a lot. And then I told you, like, you know, if you start talking more on your Instagram, if you post more videos, I think people like connect to you in a very different way. And recently I've just been seeing like your Instagram is so much like, if I need to know about
engaging.
About like just what's going on, if it's production, if it's traveling, but like at least even if I haven't seen you for like a month, when I meet you, I can pick up a conversation from like, I saw like, you know, you've been doing this and this. So I think that's just like a step up.
I've been trying to up my Insta game.
Listen,
I have.
And you know what the next thing is?
What's the next thing?
It's just vlogging.
I know, I need to.
You need to, because the same thing that you're doing on your Insta stories right now, if you do it like on just, like, I promise you, Alicia, I promise you.
You think it'll work?
You'll just connect to a whole different audience. Right. And then now, because like even just for my podcast, what I realized is like somebody can send you one message, and even though I was like, where is this podcast going? Yeah. They'd send you that one message, and then you'd be like, wow.
People are listening.
Yeah, people are listening, and they'd even send you like timestamps and everything. It just makes a very big impact on people. And even just the way you share, like, you know, your Insta, it's the same thing because you're already doing it on Insta stories anyway.
I might as well just put
You
it
love
nice.
editing. I mean,
Start doing it.
you do production. You get
Exactly.
paid by other people to do that.
Right.
Why
Do
can't
it for
you do that
yourself.
for like yourself?
So actually, it's interesting that you came up with this because
Yeah.
my cousin and I
Yeah.
are actually putting a pitch together for a
Yeah.
very cool travel series. Yeah, we're
Listen.
really excited.
Oh, listen.
So,
Do it.
so the idea, I mean, I hope nobody steals it, but if you do,
Come
ours
on.
will be better.
But here's
anyway.
the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. If you
But-
know you create your stuff, like even somebody, and you know Kenyans, they love stealing ideas.
Right.
But
Big time.
as long as it's in your head, like for
It
me,
won't
how I
look the
normally,
same.
it won't be the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So basically, it's me and my cousin. My cousin Talisa is an Olympic swimmer for Kenya. She is.
I think I've seen.
I think she's absolutely drop dead gorgeous. She's now cannot speak, doing photography, and an amazing photographer at that. And she's an adrenaline junkie.
Can I have her on my podcast?
Oh, she would love to be.
Yeah.
She would love to be. And
Hold
so
you accountable if she doesn't come
No,
here.
no, she will.
Okay.
So, and she's an amazing photographer and an adrenaline junkie.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought, you know, the two of us doing a travel show together. So she's pushing my limits to go do all these things that I wouldn't ordinarily do.
That's a good
Like,
friend. That's a keeper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm pushing her to do, you know, the cultural side of things.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we have like you know, like a bucket list travel show where you go to different places and you just push those boundaries. And it's her, this very, very free, vibrant, wild child,
Yeah.
and me just trying to rein her in and be like, come on, let's have some delicious
Yeah.
Pinot Rio wine, you know, different Pinotage from South
come
Africa,
on.
and she's just like, give me
Please.
that box wine.
Please do it. Please do it.
So we're working
Please.
on it.
Please do
We're
it.
working